The rare INFJ strength that people miss. INFJs are often praised for their empathy, their kindness, their insight, their emotional depth. They're described as gentle, intuitive, deeply caring. And while all of that is true, it hides something far more powerful. Because the rarest INFJ strength isn't what people notice first. It's not how much they care. It's not how deeply they feel. And it's not how well they understand others. The strength people miss is how INFJs hold steady when everything inside them is moving. Today, we're uncovering the rare INFJ strength most people never see. The quiet inner power that shapes their resilience, wisdom, and ability to endure without recognition. If you're an INFJ, this video may finally put words to something you've always felt but never knew how to explain. And if you're not an INFJ, this may help you understand why INFJs are far stronger than they appear. INFJs don't announce their strength. They don't dominate rooms. They don't compete for attention. They don't prove themselves through force, volume, or constant visibility. Their strength lives internally. It's expressed through restraint, through patience, through emotional regulation in environments that would overwhelm most people. Because while INFJs are sensitive, they are not fragile. And that distinction matters more than people realize. Sensitivity is about perception. Fragility is about collapse. INFJs feel more, but they don't shatter easily. They bend inward. They stabilize themselves. They absorb, process, and adapt. And most people never notice that happening. 1. Why INFJ strength is often overlooked. In most cultures, strength looks like action, decisiveness, confidence, assertiveness, visibility. Strength is associated with people who speak quickly, act boldly, and take up space. INFJs don't always fit that image. They pause. They reflect. They internalize before responding. And because of that, people assume they're unsure. They're passive. They're easily affected. They lack confidence. But INFJs aren't weak because they pause. They pause because they're processing more information than others can see. They're reading emotional subtext. They're noticing inconsistencies. They're weighing long-term consequences. Their strength isn't reactive. It's contained. And containment requires discipline. Anyone can react emotionally. Not everyone can feel deeply and remain composed. INFJ strength is subtle, and subtle strength is often invisible. 2. INFJs can hold emotional complexity without collapsing. One of the rarest INFJ strengths is emotional capacity. INFJs can hold conflicting emotions, uncertainty, pain without immediate resolution, love and disappointment at the same time. Most people need emotional closure quickly. They want answers. They want clarity. They want discomfort gone. INFJs can sit with ambiguity. They don't rush to simplify emotions. They don't force themselves into premature certainty. They allow emotions to exist fully, without letting those emotions control their behavior. An INFJ can feel grief and gratitude simultaneously, hope and exhaustion, connection and disillusionment, and still remain functional. This ability to stay grounded while feeling deeply is not common. It is emotional strength, not emotional numbness, not emotional suppression, but emotional endurance. 3. INFJs endure more than they reveal. INFJs often endure silently. They don't share every struggle. They don't externalize every pain. They don't seek sympathy easily. This doesn't mean they aren't affected. It means they are selective with vulnerability. INFJs tend to process internally first. They want to understand their emotions before expressing them. They stabilize themselves before involving others. People often mistake this for emotional distance or secrecy. In reality, it's self-regulation. INFJs don't fall apart publicly, not because they don't feel, but because they don't want to burden others with unresolved chaos. They carry weight quietly, and quiet endurance is one of the most underestimated forms of strength. 4. INFJs choose integrity over immediate comfort. Another rare INFJ strength is moral endurance. INFJs are deeply values-driven. They will tolerate discomfort if it means staying aligned with their inner truth. They will walk away from status, decline opportunities that feel wrong, Leave environments that compromise their values. Sit with loneliness rather than betray themselves. This isn't stubbornness. It's internal consistency. INFJs need their outer life to match their inner world. When those two are misaligned, they experience deep psychological stress. So they choose the harder path. Not because it's easy, but because it's honest. INFJs would rather struggle authentically than succeed at the cost of their integrity. That level of inner alignment requires strength most people never have to test. 5. INFJs resist emotional contamination. INFJs are highly empathetic. They absorb emotional energy easily. But over time, mature INFJs learn how to avoid losing themselves inside other people's emotions. They learn to observe without reacting, feel without becoming overwhelmed, support without merging, care without self-erasure. This balance is not natural at first. It's learned through burnout, through emotional exhaustion, through painful lessons. The INFJ who appears calm in chaos is not unaffected. They are regulated. They've learned where their emotions end and someone else's begin. That regulation, that boundary, is strength. 6. INFJs can be alone without becoming empty. Many people fear solitude. Silence makes them restless. Being alone makes them anxious. They rely on constant stimulation to feel real. INFJs don't. They may feel lonely, but they don't lose their identity in isolation. They can sit with themselves, reflect deeply, rebuild internally, find meaning without external validation. INFJs often use solitude as restoration, not escape. They reconnect with their values. They reorganize their inner world. They make sense of life quietly. This ability to remain whole without constant connection is rare. INFJs don't need noise to exist. They need alignment. And that independence of inner stability is a quiet form of power. 7. INFJs see long-term meaning when others panic. When situations become emotionally intense, INFJs often zoom out. Instead of reacting immediately, they ask, what does this mean long-term? What pattern is repeating? What lesson is forming? What truth is being revealed? While others panic, INFJs contextualize. They see beyond the moment, beyond the emotion, beyond the immediate outcome. This doesn't mean they don't feel urgency. It means they don't let urgency hijack their judgment. Their strength isn't speed, it's perspective. This long-range vision allows INFJs to endure situations others abandon prematurely. They understand that discomfort is sometimes part of growth, and that awareness gives them unusual psychological resilience. 8. INFJs know when to walk away, permanently. Perhaps the most misunderstood INFJ strength is this. They know when enough is enough. INFJs give deeply. They forgive patiently. They try longer than most. They will analyze, reflect, self-correct, and empathize repeatedly. But when an INFJ withdraws fully, it's not impulsive. It's the result of long internal evaluation. By the time an INFJ leaves, they've already tried to understand, tried to repair, tried to adapt, tried to endure. Walking away isn't emotional, it's ethical. INFJs leave when staying would require self-abandonment. And that decision, quiet, final, and grounded, is one of their strongest acts. 9. Why INFJs rarely get credit for their strength. INFJ's strength doesn't seek recognition. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't demand validation. It doesn't perform. So it often goes unnoticed. People only realize how strong the INFJ was after they're gone, after the emotional support disappears, after the quiet stability is no longer there. INFJ's strength is felt most clearly in its absence. When the calm presence leaves, when the unspoken understanding is gone, when the quiet resilience is no longer holding things together. The truth about INFJ strength. INFJs are not strong because they dominate. They are strong because they endure without hardening, because they feel without collapsing, because they choose integrity even when it costs them. Their strength is internal, quiet, unadvertised, and rare. If you're an INFJ, this strength has always been inside you, even if no one ever named it. And if this video described a strength you've lived with silently, know this. You were never weak. You were just quiet about your power. If you want more psychology-based content that understands the INFJ inner world beyond stereotypes, consider subscribing. Because some strengths don't need to be loud to be real.